All right. Well, hey guys, it is Monday night. It is January 13th. We are here for our Monday night team time. It is good to see you guys signing on and got a really, really good call for tonight. It was called, the topic was call to action, and it really is about what it takes. We're in such a great opportunity at the beginning of the year to be able to move forward. And it really is up to us as individuals what we decide to do with the new year. So we're going to talk about that. You get to hear from three different coaches tonight. And then I'm excited to share that next Monday night, we are going to have a guest speaker. We're going to have Integrated Presidential Director Mike Mills is going to come on and spend some time with us. And he is going to talk on the topic of after the after when it applies to your business. So what does it mean when you kind of lost that steam? You've lost your initial excitement. And I met with him at Sundance, and I was real impressed with what he had shared with me with his team. So we've lined up that that's going to happen next Monday. So make sure you mark your calendar for that. And just a couple of quick things before we kind of jump into the meat of tonight. We've got the Ignite Impact experience happening this Saturday. And this is the Optavia-led event with the encouragement for all coaches to register and participate. And you have until this Friday, the 17th, to register. When you register, you'll get access to the recordings and all of that. But not only will you hear from Dr. A, from Nick Johnson, kind of the State of the Union and where you are, there's going to be a release of a new documentary that and preview that Dr. A has put together to help move our mission forward in the US. And then Bob Heilig is also going to be a guest on that call. So it's going to be amazing. And if you're anywhere and you want to come to our Atlanta watch party, would love to have you. We're doing that. Even have some coaches from other teams that have heard about it that are coming. So it's going to be great with some really, really good energy. So speaking of energy, Meg could not be on tonight, kind of a last minute change based on something she needed to do with her homeowners association. But one thing we were talking about is I said, I feel like we talk so much about feelings, right? Mindset, feelings. And the reality is we probably will continue to do so. Although I get tired of talking about it. I honestly get tired of feeling sometimes, but the reality is what's going on within us. We could give you all the call to action steps there are, and we're not going to do them if we're not in the right headspace. If there's something going on in here, your head, your heart, your fears, whatever it might be. So some of us participated last week in the Power of One Word workshop. And I wanted to have Robin Howarth share tonight because I thought her word was great. And I have heard that it has evolved since the workshop. So Robin, you kind of want to let us know where you are and kind of how you're intending to lead through this year?
Yes. Hey, good evening, friends. It's nice to see so many lovely faces. I really love the one word workshop so much. I've done it the last 3 years. And, I always go in having a word in mind that I think is going to be my word. But then as we go through the exercises and really kind of put some thoughtfulness to really manifest the word for the year, it has invariably changed from what I originally thought. And so this year was actually no different. So we went through the exercises and did some one-on-one groups. So Vicky was my lovely partner, and the place that I landed was Brave. And I'm like, Brave, that just feels right. And an interesting thing happened. I noticed over the next like 24 hours that it wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't leaning into it the way that I had leaned into my last two words: presence, trust, brave. I don't know. There was just something about it that wasn't feeling like it was really capturing what I'm wanting to focus on and manifest this year. And so I was kind of like going back and forth. I'm like, emergence, brave emergence, right? And then that made me think of like B for brave, E emergence, like just be. And then I'm like, becoming. And what I have found is that for me has just felt like it encompasses all those things: becoming brave, becoming unapologetically me, becoming, absolutely fearless. And it's really something that I want to manifest For sure. And Dee, I don't know if there's time because I know that there's other people who are
Keep
going to
going.
share, but
No, you got time.
one of the exercises that we were asked to do was flow writing. And so what was it for 10 minutes? Oh my gosh. It went fast though. It felt like it was going to be forever for 10 minutes, just like flow write. And I'd love to share what I wrote. I read it
Please
right
do.
before coming on. I hadn't revisited before. And so I think for me, it just kind of further confirmed like this notion of becoming is just the right fit for me. So here is what I wrote. Um, in the year 2025, I will be unapologetically brave. I will show up as my authentic self. I will listen to my body and the wisdom that it exudes. I will trust that I am deserving of all that I desire. I will stop selling myself short. I will let things flow rather than force and contort to make things fit. I will believe in myself. I will go after my dreams. I will listen to my inner voice and lead from my heart. I will take small steps and focus on one thing at a time. I will prioritize my peace rather than always trying to accommodate others. I will be courageous, even when I don't always feel confident. I'll continue to put myself in places and spaces to grow and serve others. I will remind myself that I can do hard things. I will trust that leading with love, consistency, and good intentions will take me far. I will actually believe the scrolls I have been reading. I will trust that I am deserving, worthy, accomplished, lovable, and not too much. I am perfectly made with all that I need within me already. Why do I doubt myself? I will prioritize presence, peace, trust, and a belief in myself. I will be me. I will put myself in rooms that feel good for my nervous system. I will believe. All things are possible with courage. Embrace the fear, be curious, make friends with the fear. And so as I like just read it back, like all of it felt like becoming to me. So that's where I landed for my one word, and that was my process this year. So I appreciate you
I
letting me
love it.
share.
Yeah, I've got a question for you. And if you
Yeah.
participated in the workshop or if you didn't, but you have a word, I would love if you guys put that in the comments. So much of the energy of this call is when we can feel what's going on with you and how this is resonating. So if you loved what she said, put it in the comments. But knowing all that, because I think that is powerful, right, of where you are, how do you think that will impact how you show up in your Optavia business?
Yeah, I think for me, when I listened to the most recent Optivist episode with Bob Heiling and Kristen Glass, she talked so much about the importance of courage, even if you don't always feel confident. And even just listening to her, hello, she's a rock star that she still has imposter syndrome. What? And just talking about how I'm just courageous, like I just have courage, like I'm just courageous, right? And so I think for me, a lot of times, and as Vicki and I were doing our small group work, the theme that was coming up of what was holding me back was fear. And so I'm really kind of thinking that for me, a big part of it is nope, Robin, notice the fear and do it anyway, right? And that's part of becoming, right? Becoming rather than holding myself back, noticing the fear, being curious about it, and then being courageous to do the thing anyway. So my hope is that then translates into me letting people know that the shop door is open, right? I think Frank is the one who gave that analogy a while back, right? The lights on, the shop's open, but like currently no one even knows there is a shop. So I need so I need to continue to just be brave with like letting people know. And then my hope is that courageousness will continue to just manifest in terms of my becoming. So
I love that. I love that.
yeah.
I'll share something with you that one year, and hopefully, if you haven't heard this story already, somebody else will benefit from this as well. But one year, I chose the word courage, and I didn't like brave sounded too much. Like I'm not brave, right? But I chose the word courage. And I modeled it after a friend of mine. She was actually the one who initially introduced me to the idea of a word of the year. And this is going back like 8, 9 years ago. And she was an attorney in a very fast-paced law firm. She had 2 kids, working mom, running on empty. And she was like, she wanted more fun. in her life. And so she chose the word fun. And then she's like, but I'm not fun. Like, I'm boring. I'm analytical. I work too hard, you know? So basically, what she did is, like, as she went through her year, she asked herself the question, like, if she was had an invitation to something, like, instead of the typical response of, I'm too busy, I can't do that, whatever, it would be like, well, what would be the fun thing to do? Right. So the year I chose the word courage was 2018. It was probably the biggest shift in my Optavia business and how I began to show up in the world. And when I was faced with those choices, right? Do I make this post? Do I not? Do I make that follow-up phone call? Do I not? Do I, do this or not? I would ask myself the question, well, what's the courageous thing to do? So it wasn't like I was brave. I was just going to choose the courageous thing. So maybe that might help you guys as you're, I think anything we're doing in this business as we're shifting and we're evolving, so much of us requires us to step out of ourselves so that we can serve others, and maybe looking at it from a different lens would be great. I personally chose the word embrace because I can tend to look back to where I was and regretful, and I should be here now or whatever, or look with anxiety to the future. And now really just kind of coming to that space, similar to what you said, Robin, of becoming, of just, okay, how can I just embrace it? It just is right now. It just is. Whether it's a good time in my life, it's not a good time, it's a challenge, it's not a challenge, but how can I embrace this? What can I learn from it? And what can I do next? So I think that's the name of the game these days in today's world. So, two things I want to reference if you haven't watched them yet. There was last week on Thursday, there was the Ascend call. So these are happening, the Ascend calls happen once a month with top leaders, kind of speaking about real life, speaking truth into us, about how do you move forward? How do you keep moving forward in this environment, in this business? And then Dan and Megan Valentine shared on that call, and it was powerful. Megan used a lot of scripture and she used a lot of biblical references, but I'm telling you, even no matter what your belief system, you will get something out of it. But one thing I was reminded of at the very beginning was she said, we are like you. We have faced major disappointment, discouragement, and doubt, but they're choosing to look at the opportunity ahead of them rather than behind. And that's how they're leading their team and that's where we are, is like, okay, let's embrace it. This is where we are. Sob story over. Where we used to be. And then let's look at the opportunity ahead of us, because what we don't want to do is miss the opportunity. And when we get caught up in our feelings, our emotions, where we think we should be, or somebody else is, all of that nonsense, it really prevents us from being in that creative state of what we can do next. So, Lucy Ward, I know that was kind of a powerful call for you, and you've had a major shift in kind of how you're going to approach the year ahead. So I would love to have you share for the team.
Yeah, thank you. It I'm gonna try. I was thinking all night, I shouldn't say all night, but all day, of what I was going to say. Like, I'm not one that typically will write out what I say. I'd like to just speak from my heart, and so I'm just gonna speak from my heart. Megan and Dan shared the story of Gideon in the Bible, and they got me from the beginning, because what really stood out to me, and I wrote this down when she said, um, you know, what we can do. I said should be marching forward, but we're going back because we keep asking the why. Why has fill in the blank? Why has my business gone backward? Why has, my coaches left? Why has whatever? And we have all these unmet expectations that we can have in our business. And when Gideon was asking God, why, God didn't even answer. He didn't answer that question. He said, go. And that stuck with me, because that's where I was in my business, not really knowing. I kind of said, oh, all the stuff that was going on with mom. And yeah, I was. All of that stuff happened. But I also have to take responsibility of the fact that I was mourning the loss of the business that I had. You know, I had all these coaches. I had, I mean, I had a growing team, and then it just seemed like they disappeared. And I was asking those questions internally, why? And it was like through Megan, the message she said to just go. Don't ask the why, because the thing is we keep mourning what we had, and we miss out on what's still to come. And that was such a clear message to me. It's like I can't keep focusing on what I used to, how many coaches I had, the volume I used to have, you know, all the calls I used to have, and the busy schedule I had, because I was trying to juggle all this. And I was talking with someone earlier today about the pruning season, and pruning is good, you know, is great. And they talked about that on the call as well, about this bush that she had. Pruning is necessary to grow. And so I look at everything that happened in my business as a blessing now, you know, because it's revealing who I am, and it's helping me to see that no matter what, God is telling me, I just need to go. I got to do the work. I need to make the calls. I need to have the health assessments. I need to talk to people. I need to organize my day. I need even the menial things that nobody sees. You know, I have to do what needs to be done. And I don't need all these circle of people, all this many people. I got comfortable in the number of people that I had around me. And now that all that is stripped away, and the ease of, you know, how we grew our business in 20 and 21 is now gone. Now I need to work. Now I need to do the true work of building my business. And my word this year, and it's funny because I don't typically do words, but I was studying something out towards the end of last year, and it kept coming to me saying, with God. So those are my words, with God. Everything that I'm doing with God. I'm not taking Lucy out of the driver's seat, and for those of you that may not be believers, I, I'm sorry, that's just who I am. Um, but my business is God's business, and He's working through me to serve people. And as long as I keep that in my forefront, it's not work. It's God is using me as a vessel, and I've got to go. He's telling me to go. So I need to just do what I need to do on a daily basis so that He can bless what He's given me. He can work through me to be a blessing to others. So yeah, it's a different Lucy right now.
Dang, we like this. Do you feel that energy, you guys? Do you feel that? It's huge. And what's most important about all of that is who's on the other side of this shift, right? Who was not going to be able to be helped, be exposed to what we have because we were focused inward on I. And Megan had even said it in that sometimes she has to walk by the mirror and say, like, get over yourself, like, stop making it about you. You know, because the people are there, the people are hurting, the people need us. You're out there, I'm out there. Oh, that's amazing. And yeah, just go. I love that. Love that. Any other comments or feedback? I just feel like there might be somebody who has something to share from that. If you haven't watched it, I encourage you to watch the replay. It's been posted a couple of times in the group because a few people watched it and they didn't see the other post and they were like, this was so good. And I'm like, hey, you know, watch it. Well, I just watched it again today and even got more out of it. So, oh, I know about what Dan said. He said, you know, when we saw this, we saw the opportunity. We saw the opportunity that could lead to the better health for them, but it could lead to the better health of their finances and their future, and how it could change lives. He said, we never asked, well, what if the algorithms change down the road? What are we going to do if, you know what I mean? Like, it was just blind, like, belief that this program is good, the coaching opportunity is good, and go. And as with any good business owner, right, we shift as the market shifts. And you guys are doing great. You're showing up, you're here, you're participating in these things, and what that mindset and that open-heartedness for learning. And I love that what you said, Lucy, with God, like just partnering and making it not. And when you said the thing about vessel, that was you just like hit me in the knees, because I always before I came on a team call, before I spoke on national calls, whatever, I would always pray with my hands up and say, God, just use me as your vessel. And I realized I have not done that
Mm.
in a really long time. So thank you for
You're
that.
welcome.
Yeah. So the other thing that is out there that is really good is an opportunity to participate in a 4-day workshop with Bob Heilig. It's like 4 days, January 27th to the 30th. And he is actually going to be focusing on health and wellness coaches, health and wellness area. How do you build your business through love? Their theme is love, serve, grow. So how do you have a love-led business and build through attraction and not but through chasing fear and things like that? And it's free. It's 1 hour a day. And if you register for it, you can get the recordings. So if you're not available during the day. So I'm going to put the link in the comments as far as where you can register for it. But basically, it came from a great podcast, and I'll put the link in our Facebook group when I post this recording. But he has a podcast, and it's his general podcast. It wasn't just for Optavia, but it said, "Does your business have a dieter's mentality?" And he talked about, if we're chasing fast results, if we have an all or nothing mentality, if we're overworking and hustling and then we're giving up, all the things, perfectionism, comparison, all of those things are the things that trip us up, just like they trip us up if we're trying to, our health journey, or we're watching our clients on their health journey. So if you've watched that, maybe endorse it in the comments there. But I think that is going to be super important for us to all have that shift, because what he talks about is it's not so much the actions that we do. And I am going to bring up 5 consistent daily actions for us to do. It's not so much the actions that we're doing, but it is having a clear, focused plan every day and doing more of the right actions coming from the right space with it. So somebody who is always in a creative place, and I think this is the #1 space to be in and always thinking of new ideas, is Carolyn Twitchell. So Carolyn, I know you've got some stuff on your calendar coming up, and I was wondering if you could just share with the group about that.
Here we go. Sorry about that. I was on mute.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time. Absolutely. This has been such a great call. I'm like so grateful that I'm on the call. And it's funny, my word every year is gratitude. So I never even change it, because I'm just like grateful for learning with everybody and the opportunity to just move forward. And I love the let's go part. So anyway, this year I always love to shake it up and try new things. So I was on the call today with Meg and Lucy. We were chatting. And I'm doing a bunch of initiatives in January to just try to reach more people, whether they're inactive, active, or new clients. So next Monday, a week from tonight, from 6 to 8, I'm hosting, I do a lot of cooking classes for my clients, or meal prep classes. So Monday, I'm doing a cooking demonstration in one of my clients' homes. She's got a nice big kitchen, and she's offered to let me use her kitchen to do a cooking demonstration and tasting. So I'm inviting about 25 women, all associated with Optavia. I'm going to make the food. I'll do a cooking demonstration in her kitchen, and we'll all taste the food. It's all lean and greens, 3 different options. And then we're just going to chat about health and see where people are. I'm feeling like a lot of my clients, I've reached back to them after the holidays, a lot of shame, a lot of, oh, I screwed up. And I'm always saying, just move forward. It's restart, regroup. It's a new year. It's a new day. Never ever look back. So I think it's a great opportunity to just look forward. And it's fun to hang out with people and keep it chill. I do cooking events at a more formal wellness center, and I charge there. But this is a complimentary event. And my client whose home it is actually she's going to subsidize for all the food, because she's a client. She's grateful. And she's lost like 40 pounds. But I feel like it's just a good chance for people, no pressure, to just come and join and chat and talk. And, I love to cook. I'm keeping all the meals very simple, 5 ingredient meals that people can make in a few minutes. And they're all very different from one another. So just trying to do something a little different. I'm doing another cooking event at the Wellness Center, and I'm also hosting another event, but I felt like this was just nice to share because it's simple and you could do it in your home, in a friend's home, just to get people together, and just regroup after the holidays.
That is so good. So
Mhm.
good. Yeah, building that community, bringing people together. Carolyn, I love your creativity that um, that you're trying to help them move forward, right?
Mhm.
It's not,
Yep.
and that reminder, you can never start again too many times,
Oh,
right? The worst thing would
absolutely.
be is if you just quit. So we are perfectly positioned. We've talked about this, you guys, in terms of reaching to inactive clients. I mean, think
Mhm.
about how many of us have gotten stalled with our health, gotten stalled in our business, right? We're sitting here ready to be reawakened. There are people out there that want that. And then Optavia is going to reward it for it this month too, right? With the client support bonus extended to reactivated clients for, $150 or more the order. So part of that Bob Heilig that he's going to do the 4-day workshop, one of it is going to be how to nurture your existing clients so that as you have new offerings and things that they become your candidate base also for your new products and things that you're evolving to. So as we continue to evolve with Ascend and the active program and aminos and essential acids, the better we have that relationship with our clients, you know what I mean? They're right there for us. So the better we can serve them. So that is really good. I think you've got some questions there. Somebody's asking what recipes you're sharing. Maybe you can do that in the Facebook group or
Sure. I'll do three. I can share the recipes. I'm doing one is a fish in a parchment paper, and it looks beautiful. You wrap it up in the parchment paper. It steams the spinach, roasted peppers, fish, and lemon. Again, 5 ingredients. I can do the recipes.
yeah.
Spaghetti squash with a roasted pork on top. Again, with sugar-free maple syrup and cinnamon. Very, very simple. And then I'm doing a plant-based roasted tofu, broccoli, and almonds. All again, very simple, delicious. It's the cooking method that brings the flavors out, and I'd be happy to share it with anybody. I do a lot of 5 ingredient cooking dishes for my clients because everyone's busy and not everybody likes to cook the
Simple.
way that I do. Yeah, just keep it simple and quick.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you for that inspiration. I mean, I think the number one thing is, guys, find what you love to do, get out, meet people, and do what you love, right? And that's just going to be a natural flow from your heart and people will
Yep.
be attracted to it. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to ask you probably to take a screenshot of it. It'll be quicker than trying to write it down. But I shared this at the end of the year. There was the one of the Ascend calls, Melissa Tartle shared, and she shared about Christy Beeler. And Christy Beeler, it was a global director on her team, and Christy's business took a huge hit, like most of ours did, right? Took a huge hit. And she decided to just start where she was instead of looking back. She decided to provide stellar gold standard customer client support. What you're doing, Carolyn, great example of that. And go back to the basics of the consistent actions that are known to grow the business. So her business dropped over, she lost almost like 3/4 of her business. So she lost leaders, she lost coaches, she lost clients, and she decided to rebuild doing this. And she actually built her business back with new coaches and a higher overall group volume than she had at the peak of her volume. And she did that last year. So at a year that many of us were seeing ourselves continue to decline, she was going down and then turned it back up. So these are the actions, and I'm saving it to the end because the whole mindset piece of it was so important because I could put this up there, but if you don't do it, not going to make a difference, right? So bear with me one second. Let's see. Shoot, screens. All right. Can you see my screen? Says the 5 consistent actions. Oops,
No, not yet.
not yet. Hang on.
It came on, then it went away.
Yeah. Okay, is it there now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So the 5 consistent daily actions that Christy did and that everybody on Kristen Klaus's team does is, or encouraged to do, are these 5 things. Post a transformation picture daily. And this is that reminder to people that we are open for business, and this is what you do. So we can no longer, we can't go back. I heard people say in the past, well, everybody knows what I do. We need to put it out there, put it out there, put it out there, because somebody's story is going to resonate with somebody at the right time. Now, you don't want your newsfeed to be all transformation stories. You're also going to incorporate your life, you know, motivational things, recipes, whatever, but every single day, a transformation picture. So every day you're going to do that. Every day, go back and revisit your post from the day before. And I think we have a lot of missed opportunity here that, you know, go back to comment on those posts. You know, if you have new likes, you know, go in to somebody who hasn't liked your post before, or they haven't in a while, go in, send them a private message, say, hey, thanks for liking my post. How have you been? Yada, yada. And then add people to those people to your 100 list. And I'm going to pause for a second to say, do you have a 100 list? Do you know where it is? Right? Because those are the people that you're actively trying to build relationships for that could be good candidates for the program, the coaching opportunity, etc. 5 conversations. This could be in person, but this is where you're opening your mouth, you're building rapport with people. Text or private message doesn't have to be like, hey, you know, if you're looking to lose weight, I'm here. It can just be, hey, we haven't talked in a while. But building those personal relationships behind the scenes, adding 10 new friends daily. So this is going to involve getting out, meeting people, effort. If 10 seems overwhelming, you guys, do 1. If you're not doing any, do something. And then the last is every single day, knowledge is power. Know where you are. So check your back office, check your frontline volume, your FQV, your projected volume to kind of see where you're going to land this month, knowing that about 70% of that projected will actually go through without people postponing their orders. And then set a target to earn that client support bonus, and then check daily, where are you with it? So any questions around that? No? All right. Hopefully you screenshot it. I encourage you to get with your mentor coach, talk to them about this. Anything that's resonated from you tonight's call. If you haven't watched the Ascend call with Dan and Megan Valentine, and if you get the opportunity to listen to the Bob Heilig, are you treating your business with a bit diet mentality? I think you'll find those powerful. So, okay, I'm going to stop the recording for this. Thank you to Robin, to Lucy, and to Carolyn for sharing with us and sharing so authentically and from your heart. And we're going to head on over to the watch party for the community call. So hang on with me for that.